In a quarter mile, keep left to stay on Virginia 890.
Today is day 19 of our RV adventure. So we find ourselves in Virginia at Williamsburg RV Resort. And our plan is to visit Colonial Williamsburg today. We'll be here for 4 days. We actually arrived yesterday. All of our gear is soaking wet, all of our outdoor gear, because it rained for 2 days in Falls Lake. We got here, got set up, and the first thing that happened was a thunderstorm. But the skies look really blue today, and we're supposed to have great weather for the next 3 days. So we're hoping that the forecast holds true and we're able to get out and enjoy ourselves here in Williamsburg. First, let me show you around our campsite a bit. Now keep in mind, this is not a state park, it's an RV resort. We simply don't have the space that they give us in state parks. But as a part of our 1,000 Trails membership, our cost here is zero. We do have cable TV here. We also have free internet, and we have full hookups, meaning we have 50-amp electric, water, and sewer all provided to us. There are amenities here, but unfortunately their pool is being completely resurfaced and some other work done, so that's not open right now. Today we were checking out the Colonial Williamsburg Visitor Center. We don't think we're going to go to the actual historic site today, but we wanted to check it out, and our neighbors at the campground, they're actually at the historic site today, and we're going to get the ins and outs from them before we head here tomorrow probably to check it out. I think today we're just going to knock around this area and see what is interesting in the general area. So last time I was in Williamsburg area, we went to the Pottery Barn, or Pottery Factory I think it was called. It was a gigantic area with just barns and barns full of pottery. All that I guess is mostly gone, and they've turned it into this retail space. It is very nice, but it does not have the charm that the other place had. So they do still have a lot of pottery, but they also sell a lot of other retail stuff now. They do sell quite a few different wines from the Williamsburg area. They sell wines from Spain. This Land Rioja is actually a wine I was drinking on the Camino.
So we have 8 wines. We start from the top to the bottom.
All right, so here's the backstory on this place. This vineyard has been here for 10 years now, and Saude Creek is actually named after a creek in northern Alabama that was spelled a little differently, but it's called S-A-U-T-Y, but he said in Alabama they would pronounce that Saude Creek. So it was the owner's grandmother's house had that creek running behind it, and she has passed, but he always wanted to remember that area, so he named his vineyard Saude Creek. Today we are really going to Colonial Williamsburg. It's not just the visitor center. At least that's the plan.
We are a living history museum, but also a town. We are a mile long, half-mile wide. So if you're not good with walking and heat, please be aware we have that shuttle bus going around.
It takes about 16 years to build a palace.
So the back of the Governor's Palace has this up on the wall. That's the coat of arms from the King of England. unicorn on the right symbolizes Scotland, and the lion on the left symbolizes England, and it's actually written in French on the bottom. The Governor's Gardens is this area here, and they know it was in a American Revolution cemetery. Then there was 156 men buried here and 2 women, because they excavated them all. But there's no records of who they were. They suspect that they were George Washington's troops from the Yorkshire campaign in the 1780s.
Welcome. Hi. Welcome to the Palace Kitchen.
All right, just so you know, the tickets here were $68 for the 2 of us. And that was like a spring special, no other special discount. Oh, I did get a military discount, which was an additional 5% off for being a vet. But anybody can come here and walk around and see Colonial Williamsburg. But you have to buy the tickets in order to go into the shows or go into the Governor's Palace and some of the other places that you can tour. But anybody can come down here with a bicycle or walking and just tour this area on their own. This is the Bruton Parish Church. It's been in continuous service now since 1715.
Whether it be in Williamsburg, these are their townhouses, their plantation houses are even larger. A house here in town would take us 6 to 7 months to do. That's every single window, every single panel door, all the wainscoting, all the different moldings, your mopboard, chair rail, crown molding, mantelpieces and staircases, everything. 6 to 7 months to do that. A plantation house out in the countryside could take us 1, maybe even 2 years.
My guess is this is going to be the armory.
The house weapons. It was completed, being built in 1715, so it's 306 years old. The first floor would have all your gunpowder, and there would be a gunsmith in there doing small repairs. Excuse me, the second floor would have your weapons, and the third floor would have your light accoutrements like tonnage and uniforms.
Defense. If it meets the minimum requirements, right to a trial by jury, especially for felons. These are all your rights in the English system.
All right, guys, so we just went to go into, I think it's called Chaney's Tavern, but it's actually a restaurant here that's open. It was a 2-hour wait. This is at 2:44 in the afternoon. So that's not going to work for us. We're not going to wait 2 hours. 2 hours, we probably won't be here anymore. So
chocolate chip cookies it is for us.
this is the Prentice store. It's the oldest store in town. And one family, William Prentice family, oversaw construction of the store in 1740.
The ink is to my left. And I don't necessarily put new ink on these things rather than new sheet. If you do it that way, if you do take up ink every time, it's soon going to clog the letters up. 3 minutes long. Copper plate press. Letterpress printing, and a lot of it is focused on laws,
See things like shoes and cartridge pouches and more shoes and bayonet schedules and more shoes.
Cherokee's about 80,000, Shawnee's about 50,000, Six Nations is probably close to another 60,000 or so. And so there used to be almost 300 million Native people living here in what would be the United States.
But this is very different. This is the only court where you would be tried for felonies in all of Virginia. So people are coming from all 61 counties to have their time at court. This is, you're not just arrested and, you go to court.
All right, this building here we're about to enter was the public jail. I think that's kind of means jail. It was Virginia's chief prison, which housed debtors, criminals, and served as the jail for the general court in the nearby capital, where we just were. Blackbeard was killed in the Carolinas, but 15 of his crew were brought here for trial. 13 were found guilty and hung. One of them did a plea deal where he basically ratted out all the other guys, so he got to walk away. And one was actually found innocent. All right, so we just came from Colonial Williamsburg, and it was hot down there walking around today. So I really enjoyed it, but I want to get Beth's opinion. But right now we're at Ale Works on the way back. I got the curried goat from the food truck behind me, and we both got a Chesapeake Pale Ale. All right, Beth, so what did you think of Colonial Williamsburg today?
Well, it's weird because, you know, I was there when I was a kid, and now I'm there as an adult, and I just remember things a lot different. I thought there was more quaint shops that were available, like candle making and scents areas, and it just didn't seem to have that. But other than that, it was great. Had a fantastic time running around. A lot of walking, a lot of heat, but it was good.
Yeah, I really liked it. I learned some cool stuff while I was there. I was shocked when the Indian guy was telling me that there used to be 300 million Native Americans. I mean, there's only 330 million people living here now. So I was shocked to hear those numbers. I thought it was really cool when they were we were at the court and they were saying at the courthouse on the King's side where they have the big courtroom for felonies only, that they had brought 13 of Blackbeard's crew up after the battle. Blackbeard had already been killed. Yeah, that was cool, right? Yeah. And of the 13, they found 11 of them guilty and hung them. One they acquitted, and the other one was a plea deal. He's the one who routed out all his shipmates. So I thought that was really cool, and they did hang them. 11 of them.
We got to see the actual real cells that they were held in. So they had shackles on the wall that went around their necks, and then they had ones that go on their feet.
Stay on the road. Our last day at Williamsburg. We're off to a new destination tomorrow, but we had a lot to get done today. So Beth had to do our laundry, and she was doing that all day. It was a lot of laundry. I waterproofed our screen tent so that we'll be able to use it more in the rain. It's water resistant, but now I think it's going to be a little bit better. Also, the truck was looking a little bad, especially around the tires, so I took care of some of that. And tomorrow we're off to a new destination.
Today's the day!